Guys, this is another great knife from Rosecraft Knives. This is the Aeris Rex. This came to me from my buddy Tino, who won it at our event up in Beaumont. Stand by. We're going to take a quick look at this awesome little knife, and I'm going to tell you how you can save 5% on your purchases at Rosecraft. So let's turn this around and take a look at it from above. Guys, like I said in the intro, I'm really surprised at how much I like this knife. This is, like I said, the Aeris Rex from Rosecraft Knives. It was designed by Hawk and Rose. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I do have a discount code with them now. It is Crazy Sharp. So if you're interested in any of the Rosecraft knives, you can go to their website and use Crazy Sharp, all one word. I don't make any money on it. I just thought that it would be nice to be able to have a discount code for you guys. So at any rate, this is a harpooned Americanized Tanto AR-RPM 9 blade that's been done with a PVD coating. I do have to admit, I did that scuffing when I shot a short about this knife before I ever put it in my pocket. It's also a black micarta and black micarta handle with copper bolsters, and they're actual bolsters. And I'm going to tell you, there's not any weight reduction in this knife, which means that this knife feels pretty substantial. It doesn't feel too heavy. It feels really substantial, and it gives it a nice balance. I have done very little cutting with this. It's not my knife. I'm trying to avoid having to sharpen a Tanto blade, but I will tell you that it does cut really well, the cutting that I've done. AR-RPM 9 takes a very aggressive factory edge, and it seems to hold it really well. So the cutting I did do, I just stropped it up, and it absolutely came right back up, just dropping it on newspaper. It is a flipper and thumb stud opener. So you got double that action. And this is one of those knives that has a tip forward weight that I absolutely love in knives. There's not too many knives that have that. A lot of them have that neutral balance, like at the pivot. This is tip forward, and I love it because I know exactly where that blade is all the time. I like to have either a neutral at the pivot balance or a little bit forward of the pivot. It just helps you know where that knife is at all times. The PVD on this has been done really well. In hand, nice and comfortable. It sweeps back like this, but you've also got this swell here where you're in on it, and it just feels really comfortable. It is nice and thick as well, which means not only has it got that broadening area, but you know, when you have a narrow knife, you want it to be a little bit thicker here because it just fills your hand better. They did a really good job on the plunge on this one. They've got their notch here, their sharpening notch, out to a point where it does not come up to a smile like some of the others that I've mentioned. And Hagen did a really good job on this design. I absolutely love this. This is not a lightweight knife. It is coming in pretty hefty. When we do the full review, I will let you guys know the weight. You also have got a reversible pocket clip, and they did something that I mentioned in a video that I shot earlier today. I wish more companies would do, especially companies that know how to do it, is putting a big ugly lanyard hole in a knife when there's so many options. I hate that. They did a really good job. You've got this post here that you can run a lanyard through, and you can have a lanyard, which I'm 100% down for you guys to have that option of having a lanyard without putting a big ugly hole in the knife for you to run it through. And a lot of times those holes are in a position where you wind up cutting your lanyard. Like if you use an expensive bead, and this is why I'm kind of just throwing this in there. If you use an expensive bead, like this is like a $60 hand cast bead. If you're using an expensive bead on your lanyard and you've got one of those ones that has a lanyard hole in it, there's a chance that your knife might clip that lanyard and then you lose your bead and your lanyard. The other thing too is, as we've carried this and messed with this, I don't think they put any type of coating on this copper. It just looks like blasted copper. It's already picking up kind of a dark patina just from having been handled. It did not look like this when I brought it, or well, when I saw it at my buddy Nico's house, because this came back from the event that we had up at Beaumont. Savannah sent this back with my buddy Tino, and he let me borrow it for the video. So I absolutely dig this. Like I said, I'm typically not a fan of the Americanized Tanto. They're just a little bit more work. They make it more problematic. A lot of people will miss-sharpen them, and they'll ask me if I can fix it because they round this point off. So it just adds a little bit of level of difficulty, but they are a popular knife. And then the pocket clip on this is really good on this knife. A lot of the Rosecraft pocket clips have got a broader back and then they transition down and then they slim down. On this knife, this is more of just a flat deep carry pocket clip, but it does not feel out of sorts, not a hot spot. There really aren't too many hot spots on this knife to speak of. So with the good, there's always a little bit of bad. I have only a couple of small things to say about this knife. So you guys check out Coffee Brand Coffee real quick, channel sponsor, and I will bring you back and we'll talk about the couple of little negative things.
That no one likes to watch ads in the middle of a video. I don't like putting them in, but I do know that I gotta support what I do here, so I partnered with companies that I know I can trust. And today's sponsor is Coffee Brand Coffee. They're delivering quality coffee, freshly roasted on demand, ground to order and delivered to your door, and they're not doing anything political, so you don't have to worry about a company that you're supporting that is supporting causes that you might not agree with, because they don't support any causes. They just simply take the money and put it back into making a better product. So I would appreciate if you both support their new small business and my channel by checking out Coffee Brand Coffee and looking at their offerings. Use the link below and my coupon code Crazy Sharp on their website. It's Crazy Sharp, all one word, capital C, capital S. Let's get back to this.
All right, there's only a couple of small things. First of all, they could have scalloped this out a little bit better to give you a little bit better access to the lock bar. On this, they did take some material out. They didn't take too much out, but it definitely needs. I feel like I would want a little bit better access. They could have taken a little bit more material off this side and it wouldn't have felt out of sorts. Next thing, pocket clip on it. Not pocket clip, the flipper tab on it. The flipper tab on it is a lot like some of the Hinderer flipper tabs. It just feels like it's on backwards. You could have easily not hooked that. Because with my hands, it kind of feels like it's poking in my finger. It's not really a super bad hot spot, but it is a little bit of a hot spot on that when I'm up on it. And then thumb studs, well, the thumb studs are really good and you can reverse flick off of them. They are a little bit kind of proud. They could have been a little bit smaller and it would have been fine. And then the final thing, it's just a me thing. The pocket clip moves a little bit. And with that, as well, that's just a little bit sharp on that edge. That's not such a big deal on this one. On one of the other knives that I talked about earlier, I definitely felt it more prominently. This isn't horrible, but you could have put a plate in here just to keep that spot clean, a couple little screws. You could have even done it like a black PVD coated piece. I know that's an additional cost, but it keeps those holes nice and clean, and it prevents like little hot spots. Like if you might have sensitive hands, that might be a little sharp in your hand where your pinky is. My pinky doesn't even touch it, but I could just see that being a little bit of an issue. I'm looking forward to seeing how this copper patina is up. So guys, that's it on this one. It's the first day in pockets. I literally just put it in my pocket this morning. It's about noon now. So it's the first I'm getting around to doing some filming since my wife had her surgery. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day.
That's another great knife from Rosecraft Knives. They are really putting out a lot of good designs. Hawken, Rose, and Savannah Swags over there at Rosecraft are putting out some really great designs. I've liked a lot of these knives that they've sent me. So we'll be seeing more of this knife here in the future. I'm going to carry it for a few days, see how I feel about it in the long term. We'll get a final review on it. This is basically the first impressions, first day in carry. So I'm digging it. So guys, that's pretty much it on this one. If you like the videos, you know what to do. Give them a thumbs up. If you don't like the videos, give them a thumbs down, but you got to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, I have got two sponsors. I have Temper Trail and Coffee Brand Coffee. They both share a coupon code of Crazy Sharp. The Coffee Brand Coffee link absolutely is better if you use the link down below. It's got the coupon code built right in, and it's a little bit easier, and it does make it a little easier for you at checkout, so you don't have to do any extra steps. That same link, that same coupon code, I should say, Crazy Sharp, works at Rosecraft Knives for a 5% discount, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I also have an Amazon store down below. You can take that, pin that link to your browser, use it for all the Amazon shopping you're gonna do. It doesn't cost you anything extra at checkout. It supports the channel, and you don't even have to get dressed to do it. You can do it in your pajamas. And I do have a membership down below where we spend a lot of time hanging out in my Gilded server, which is a benefit everyone that's a member has. On the Gilded server, I do giveaways for the baseline and premium guys, and the premium guys have access to an exclusive sharpening tutorial series that's behind the paywall simply for them here on YouTube. Guys, that's it on this one. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.